Ben, and you're watching Sparky Gravity on Twitch and Sparky Hobbies on YouTube. I wanted to do the next Tavern Brawl, the Great Summoner Competition, and we've got a sort of a deck building exercise where you summoners across the world have come to compete. Whenever you cast a spell, a random minion for the same cost is summoned for you. So I tried to build a deck that uses a lot of 2s and 4s, since that's usually the best minion value is at 2 and 4. But it's possible that maybe I'd want something other than just these 4s and 2s. Like, my curve is very sort of blocky in the 2, 3, and 4 range. To sort of start the process, I did throw in a Clockwork Gnome and an Amarni Berserker, although I probably wouldn't mind throwing in some Zombie Chows, because they would probably be pretty decent at starting the process of control, because I imagine everybody's going to be just playing spells for control stuff. That's kind of why the secrets are okay, and why Unstable Portal and something like Arcane Intellect is okay, because you can basically get things on the field and you're not just playing control spells. Most spells are for the aspect of control, so that was kind of like my idea behind it. So let's go ahead and try it. This is the very first time I've tried it, so let's see if the deck actually performs like I want it to do. I only have one Clockwork Gnome, I think is the 2-1 for 1 that gives you a spare part when it dies. And obviously a spare part's going to cost 1, so it's going to kind of go with all the rest. I've seen a lot of priest deck. They seem to be very good for this.
You asked for it.
I don't have a lot of turn plays. A Frostbolt might come in handy. We're going to throw back the thing that costs 4. We'll just try this. Unstable Portal will probably be my turn 2 play. I didn't have a turn 1 play. Honestly, if you're a priest and you went Northshire Cleric and then Power Word Shield, it would be seems like it would be pretty good. And turn, you get the first shot. What are you going to do? So yeah, coin, so potentially. Okay, so we getting an angry chicken. Okay, so in a priest deck, I actually do not want a Power Word Shield coming down on this angry chicken, so we're actually going to take it out before I can get Velen's Chosen or something crazy like that. It's kind of a waste, but whatever. Yep, that's pretty good. So if I play Sorcerer's Apprentice and then Frostbolt, that will take care of that problem. Don't know if it's a good spell. Hey, isn't that supposed to cost 2? Not just 1? And I have a tutor who is joining me. Okay, so he's going to go for direct damage. Well, let's see here. I guess I duplicate. I'm going to take this out, do 1 to it, and do 2 damage to his face. And we'll see whether or not... Holy Nova would be really good here. You could just Shadow Mind Spike the 3 to 3/1. He's going to get some card value out of that. He got one of the best 1 spells. And it looks like he got Arcane Intellect, which is really good. Cone of Cold is probably where we're going to go with this. I'm going to get 2 of those guys. That seems pretty good. Alright, now what? Coin. The 0/2 Taunter, and a Power Word Shield. Alright. So let's get rid of this. I'm going to cast the Sorcerer's Apprentice. And looks like we're going to probably Cone of Cold all of these down, I'm guessing. We'll go ahead and do that. And we'll attack for 2. A Holy Nova is still really good here. Taking out the Sorcerer's Apprentice is a really good deal. And getting something that costs 5 is pretty good. There's a lot of rares that cost 5. Okay, some control. Next turn I'll be able to Flame Strike, which seems pretty good, actually. Well, not anymore.
Is someone injured?
Okay. Let's see here. Like, Frame Strike will kill most of these people. So I'm wondering if I should just do that. He probably wants to draw some cards. We're going to get rid of this just so he doesn't have card draw. And then we're going to cast Unstable Portal. And we have a Flame Elemental for 2. We're going to go ahead and pass turn here and see if he walks into a Flame Strike. I didn't want to play the Sorcerer Apprentice and just give him more targets because I'm going to do Flame Strike. We just didn't want to draw cards with the Northshire Cleric. And I did expect this, where basically most of his cards are going to be all control cards, which is kind of what I'm doing. I just started the version. Okay, so he's thinking that he can get a lot of value out of this. Yep. That's fine. I'm actually very okay with that. So now we're going to see if he has Shadow or Death, because I'm going to play something that costs 7. And now it's his turn to play Shadow or Death. And if he doesn't have it, I'm going to be very surprised. And on Twitch, the Guy of the Dragon says, Armani Berserker seems a bit slow. And I don't necessarily disagree. So that's a 7-9. Let's polymorph it. Actually, let's play the Sorcerer's Apprentice. And then let's polymorph it. And I have a 7-7. This is for every turn that he ends with a mech. Question is he going to have a mech deck? I think I just play the Fire Elemental. And attack for 7. So, yeah, Armani Berserker, I wanted something to start the process of basically the control matchup, because I imagined that since all of this is going to be mostly spells and people trying to take advantage of spells, there's nothing going to be on the board until someone basically plays a spell. Do you have other spells to play, or is it just filler stuff? I actually don't have, like, I don't have the most expansive collection. So I just threw in most of the spells that I had for Mage. And, he's going to double the health. I think it's Millhouse. That's pretty funny. So, he doesn't have Taunt. I have 13 plus 6. 13 plus 6. That's 19, right? Let's find out. Let's see if I did my math correctly. It is. My math is correct. So let's play around with them here a little bit. And we'll do that, and then we'll kill him. So that worked out okay. I got really lucky with the unstable portal and got the fire elemental. And we did know that the flame strike was going to get us big. And he got really unlucky in the sense that he didn't have Shadow Word Death. So maybe he built his deck that way or not. But we got our pack, so that was pretty cool. And let's go see what we got. I've got all of these. This is another reason why I played Mage or Shaman rather than Priest, is because I have that quest. And we're probably just going to go finish that. Should I play it one more time? I got my pack. Really, I don't know. So, let's see here. What do you think I should play other than Armani Berserker? What would you suggest other than Armani Berserker? Armani Berserker. Writing some questions. I'm thinking about trying it again. Probably won't get an automatic update to the deck, so it'll still show. But if you have another Clockwork Gnome, yeah, I don't. I only have one Clockwork Gnome. I know it'd be great though. I was saying that early in the thing because you get the spare part from it, and it's a good way to start off the early aggro and have him spend control in the very beginning. But I don't have one. I was thinking of the other. I don't have enough for the other spare parts. I don't know if I have a Violet Teacher, but I definitely don't have Wild Pyro. Let's go check. Let's see here. Do I have a Violet Teacher? Is that how you spell Violet? Let's type in Teacher instead. Nope, don't have him. The Guy the Dragon said, well, if you had another Clockwork Gnome, it'd be a really good early pick. I totally agree with that, because the spare part you get off of it. Wild Pyro would definitely clear a lot of the early game board, and so that's why that's a good pick. And of course, Violet Teacher is just value, where anytime you cast a spell, you're going to get a 1/1, and then you would actually purposely trade those 1/1s away for damage. So that way, when you cast spells, you get basically a better board. I don't know how you would necessarily... You'd actually want to save it a little bit so you don't extend in your board presence, where something like Holy Nova or Flame Strike would just be, super golden. But you'd almost want to play some of your hand back. But yeah, the Violet Teacher would be a really good one if I had it too, but I don't. I've got most of the secrets, but I don't really want to build a secret deck. Water Elemental is really good, but I decided to basically put in other spells that cost 4. Arcane Missiles is nice, while the RNG can be iffy. It's a turn 1 play. Yeah, I agree. I kind of thought about it, but I realized that just because most of the really good cards as far as damage to mana cost are in the 2 and 4 range, I decided that I was just going to go ahead and focus basically on that range. Unfortunately, I don't think that there's necessarily a whole lot of cards that cost good at 3, and I have quite a bit of 3 costs, so I'm not really sure how to work that. The Guy the Dragon says getting on the board is really good early. I agree. I almost would rather play Mirror Image rather than Arcane Missiles, even though Arcane Missiles does damage, just because you get the same sort of benefit. And you might get really lucky and get a Flame Imp and be able to protect it behind a Mirror Image, but it's going to be very control matchups. I don't really know whether that would actually happen. I think we're going to give it one more shot here. We're at 14 minutes for this video. Yeah, okay. Well, let's go ahead and switch out the Armani Berserker for a Mirror Image, shall we? Let's try that. If I can get that turn 1, we'll try to do our best to get the turn 1 going. And we'll say done. And I'm going to put a cut in this video for YouTube, and we'll be right back. So stay tuned.